I would have proposed to my wife that first day, probably. I was just too scared to. I would have taken the toughest assignments. I would have applied to schools that I didn't deserve to be in. I would have taken opportunities that I probably didn't even have the courage to even be in the room. I would have walked in there with all the audacity that I could muster, because now I know that anything is possible.
My favorite quote is Sarah Jessica Parker. She says, "Trying to be a man is a waste of a woman." And I learned later in my life that being me was good. Trying to be someone else was never gonna, get me where I am today.
I wish I had known that I didn't need to worry about what I was doing next, so I enjoyed what I was doing while I was doing it.
If I could go back and talk to my younger self, I would probably tell myself not to take things quite so seriously and to take more chances.
I wish when I started that somebody had told me, you got to have somebody close to you that you can rely on.
In some cases, some decisions, maybe I would have been less careful. In some political decisions that I made, I was probably cautious to a fault at times.
One thing I wish that I knew when I was younger was to be fairly critical of the people I'm sharing ideas with. There are certain types of people in certain groups that are really open to innovation and who see the big picture, and there are other people who just don't grasp that.
I tell my younger self, it's okay to make mistakes. Nothing is as serious as you think it is.
I think I would warn my younger self about how little people generally want to talk to you as a journalist. You have to kind of really, really make your own connections, work really hard to build trust with sources.
I wasn't anticipating just how fast and how transformational these changes would occur in my lifetime. And it's hard for me to imagine what life is going to be like in 2050 or 2075.
Talking to my younger self, I think I would say never underestimate the capacity of really smart, compassionate humans to work together to create change.
It's funny, I have a PhD in policy analysis, and I thought that numbers and facts could solve every problem. What I didn't know that I know now is that policy and facts and numbers are never more than like the 5% margin of life. The rest of it's just love.
What I wish I knew then was that there was a place in Naples, Florida where ideas flourish.